And hi and welcome from Rudy's on the Circle in Waco. Welcome into our Baylor Coach. A outdoor bat and ball show. We've got Coach Glenn Moore. Welcome to you this evening.
Good to be out there, don't we?
Yeah, of course. You can almost be by looking at the softball and baseball.
The farmers ought to give me a little cash in here and schedule a game.
Yep, better than outside sports schedule. So Thompson, new Baylor baseball coach, will be here this. Appreciate you being here right from practice. How has practice gone? You've already played 5 tournament in Las Vegas.
Yeah, we got. I love this team. They're fun to see at practice. They don't work. Want to play some softball, so
wow.
That's a. We're going to be pretty good. We're not there yet.
Last week, the only loss was to SEC champs, and I think you felt
4 wins right off the bat, and we should take care of business in those against the defending SEC champion. And the SEC pitcher. All game for a long, as it started back to later on, but the things we did wrong, mistake throughout the season, probably first perspective of a loss in the year, and just with the outcome of the weekend.
Is that playing measuring are in the opening weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. Of all calibers, and you adjust. As I said earlier, we have to figure out our best 9 to put out on the field. And you've got 4 wins under your belt. Now you want a team, and we did some and beat a top 10 team. Might have a chance.
Yeah.
So
I've heard you say that's a nice problem.
Yeah, one of building depth into a team, and you go to and you don't fill that void as much as have some athletes and some. Keeping them happy will be a challenge, but it's have a little bit more depth than we've had.
And that creates, I would guess, competition, playing time, and I would think that's always.
If you've got 9, the rest of the team, then they're not going to work it on your door, and knowing that going to get their foot in the door, then they constantly get better. So, and that's the same way with the heightened sense of awareness about the game you for that game, and it makes you better as a team. So this depth that we have will have improved. So you've kind of got to see what you've got and see.
Looking at the numbers, looked like you had a
good offensive week throughout competitive at bats. 2 of our didn't perform as well as they would normally, so we performed well from an offense without them being their best. Make bid, hitting hard balls right back to people, come around in their favor, and their average. We put a lot of hits on the every inning, putting pressure on the other. And Arkansas even broke, so we ran there number 1. reliever, so we faced 3 pitchers in that game. Probably the brightest spot in.
Is this a home run hitting team? Or do you know?
Or hitting team, gap-to-gap hitting team. Our numbers should be up this year. Traditionally, our philosophy has been a station offense, but the game, we've made that transition as well. The short game, the slappers and the bunts, and move around a little bit. And rules have changed a little bit. The out of the box is so we've gone to a little bit more. A few years ago, or tried to make it. Now
that rule change. Box.
Yeah, it's more emphasis on when part of your foot over the chalk line. Now it's an out if it's a 2, no matter what.
Okay.
If it's not even foul. Tweaked it a little bit to benefit the slapper, but big change to keep the slapper in, and that gives the pitcher about a 6-inch advantage. That breaks it pretty good, then from the slapper. So we had a lot that some of them out of the game completely, and you never knew runners in scoring position if we're going to get called box. Even when the chalk was pressure on the umpires to make that call, so they start adjustments with our philosophy.
How is
it's good speed? I wouldn't say great speed. Batting order, we pinch run as often as it's good speed. Base running knowledge as well. So we made a the weekend, but things that are fixable.
Gotcha. Mix of returning players. I mean, really a lot for you, and a good mix of the newcomers.
2 seniors, a junior, and the rest were sophomore. College team that this came to the top 3 teams in the nation. A little better probably than given credit for last. SC championship and had a good. So yeah, we got a good mix this. One senior, Josie Bauer, juniors and freshmen.
Wow, really good. All right. That was your postseason tournament. You want to be in the NCAA tournament. What was the thought process to going and really well?
Yeah, so obviously our series and most of the years we're in the NCAAs. A younger team, we felt it was an opportunity to grow this team and get some more practice. We put it before them. We actually, his opinion, because 8 years ago, I believe, or 9, the men's basketball version for softball, and got some voted to go play and compete and represent more practices in because of that. We won 4 games in a row to win the championship.
Started practice for this year. Did you see?
Absolutely. I believe the mentality, determination to be in the NCAAs next year. But we have new faces, too, that weren't well to help this team grow into a team. So I think that coming in that are very talented, the type of team we feel like we have this year.
Tomorrow afternoon, the Getterman Classic this week. Come back. Coach Glenn Moore, our first guest. A packed Rudy's. Thank you. More after this, live from And back with us live. We appreciate everyone being with us tonight. Again, a line of folks going through. There's a bus pulling in now, Coach. And more, and Mitch Thompson, who was host here at Rudy's. Nick is standing right. Folks, give him a round of applause. We appreciate at Rudy's tonight. Continuing with, and your home opener is to the Getterman Classic. Stephen on Saturday. Sunday, team in the nation, and you'll play Oklahoma. And just got the news this afternoon, those Sunday Stadium.
It's always great? It's early in the season, so you don't. Yeah, we're excited. It seems.
Yeah, ready to get out. Maybe not great.
Sunday's going to be beautiful, I think. We're going to be a little chilly. Stadium is 15 degrees warmer if you have to make that choice, all right?
True. North wind, right?
It's you don't believe it come around in August and July.
That is true. Pretty good field coming in. A team that beat Florida State last week.
Number 4 Florida State, and it makes a big difference. So you can have an average, or you can have a great team with an average pitcher that makes a difference. So really, on get her or not, how competitive. Actually, they're a pretty good team. They're very competitive. We've got a challenge with Stephen F. Games under their belt, 4-3, and down there with Coach Richie Brister, who's down there, but a very experienced coach from.
Yeah, I didn't want to skip over Stephen F. Austin. That's your Wood on Saturday at 3. And story a lot, but Oklahoma coming. They're the 2-time defending national champion to a 5-0 start this year, and
it is good to get them in. And you don't. I've said this over and over. Team if you don't play them, and you know she's done up there in the program she's built. Put up a fight. We had a great game with them. 1-0 in the final inning with 2 outs. You know, we get better by playing better competition. You don't challenge yourself, you don't get better. You know, we welcome them to our tournament.
We did. Non-conference.
We did. Then went to Norman for 3 more games. They've been a great representative of our teams in our conference in the Big 12. So the Big 12 conference was well represented. Well,
man, that's great. And what about?
Yeah, Army's coming in 2-2. Military institution, so we're looking forward. There's actually a neighbor of mine, Casey Donaldson, where my kids went to school, and she's going to be. And we're excited to have them back here. And
that's great. So. That's really cool. All right. Stadium, weather gradually, like you said, by Sunday it should be
supposed to be a nice day. I think it's going to be okay late at night, but we play a 3:00 game, and so don't let that scare you away.
Stadium. Let me ask you this. It seems like you feel like you've got depth. Where do you feel like?
Well, I've been coaching long enough to know you never have enough. And quality depth. So don't have a lefty, but we do have a lot of diversity. Our ace, he's the hardest throwing pitcher we've ever had. But she's been off for the summer recently to pitch and kept her on a low pitch. And we thought she had progressed, that she's going to continue to progress and be staff to do that. We have a great pitcher with great ball movement. And she does a great job of that. A good one that we're looking forward to seeing here. It's a big recruit for us. Doing really well. And Riley, Leah had over 600 batting. Capable if we get to the point where we need a competitor, a two-time state championship school, and then finally rounding it out is Ava arm in the bullpen.
Great. All right. So Dari Orm throws as hard as a lot.
Possibly any pitcher I've ever faced. 74
yeah.
miles an hour, 70 miles. Make this comparison all the time. 70 miles to a 100 mile an hour pitch in baseball. Good, but you know, hitters are really good these days. 68 to 70 miles an hour. Now she's not going to throw that every pitch. Arm problems to do that over and over.
So you're going to limit her a little bit?
We are. We're going to be careful with what we success and not wear out. Last we'd want to, and she was a competitor at the end, and we didn't have her in the big. We tried to bring her back in the NISC against Kansas on the fielding a ground ball during batting practice at the Big 12. In between her pitching hand fingers there, so we lost her then, and she wasn't ready to come back when we were in the tournament.
Gotcha. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, some of your questions. Ask the coach. Plenty more to come with Coach Glenn Moore. Rudy's. We'll take a break and be right back. And back on the Baylor Coaches Show, live from Rudy's on the Circle in Waco. Rudy's Real Texas Barbecue with Coach Glenn Moore, Baylor softball coach, beginning, it's already begun, in your 23rd season here at Baylor. Does that seem possible to you?
No, it doesn't. I raised a daughter and a son here, and it's been a big blessing to be here. But, Coach Thompson will tell you, look at his hair, and you can tell he's been around a long time. But, no, it's been a blessing to be a part of Baylor this long.
Wait. Are you firing shots at Coach Thompson
I'm giving him some. Is he here?
Yeah, he is here.
I'm sorry. Yeah. No, I'm not firing shots. I was kind of jumping on the bandwagon, beating myself up a little bit.
I remember the first.
Just amazed he's on time. So.
All right. Hey, here is our beef, Old Trapper up here on the stage. If you're watching, to me this means what's your beef? You are right now starting games. What's ahead for you schedule?
Different schedule, like where you typically try to dictate who you play, but you'll know your RPI and strengthen your schedule. So this weekend we've talked about that next we'll have Maryland, who has just time in about 15 years in Minnesota. Opponents there. A&M Commerce is the to Joy, giving he passed away Joy the Bear. Call it a double round robin weekend. Sam Houston State. Yeah. We also play out of conference as well. So by the time the Big 12 starts.
Very good. Pick to win it again this year.
Texas played for the national championship last. It was right there. I think they won the Big 12 tournament. Teams and Kansas had a great games. Texas strong as it's been in 5 or 10.
From the audience, first from Roy and Ann. Roy says, class coming this fall.
Yeah. Right now for 2 reasons. We don't have a lot of positions opening up, and 2 infielders and a pitcher. He's going to join anyone and give us a little bit more depth and a little bit with that class. But the other reason, recruiting out of the portal. We've been 6 talented athletes over the last changed our program dramatically, and we're going to save some money for that.
The question regarding recruiting, it's foremost when recruiting high school.
Versatility right now. We've had over the a little bit. We've graders that you really don't know where you're going to need. Probably still abide by that. You're going to go after pitchers first and versatility. Back in the shortstop, you would recruit shortstops and then. But there's good athletes at every position. They'll be able to plug in quicker.
Gotcha. Does the advent of the transfer so important now? Does that younger student back to 7th and 8th graders?
Well, we recruit. We can evaluate, but we can only enter their junior year now.
Okay.
Positive, except for the coaches that are on the.
You want to name names there?
I would love to, but no, I think it has travel ball recruitment. They're entering the poor level schools that are four-year schools. Play on a higher level, then you're getting to evaluate a recruit that you're a little more. Yep.
Well, we appreciate you being here. Home opener tomorrow, 3 o'clock, and good luck getting the home schedule going.
Well, and I'm not trying to soften the blow on Coach, but I do want to wish him the best. I'm proud he's here, and don't let he gets back up.
Don't leave.
Appreciate it.
Coach, Baylor softball, 4-1 start to this weekend. Back the aforementioned Baylor's first year live from Rudy's. Welcome back on the Baylor Coaches Show. Let's give you our Baylor Scott and White Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics health tip for the week. Don't let pain slow you down. We diagnose and treat sports-related injuries and provide orthopedic services for athletes and non-athletes alike. Visit a Baylor Scott and White Sports Medicine and Orthopedic specialist and move like you used to. Folks, as we turn the bottom of the hour, join me in welcoming Baylor's first-year head baseball coach, Mitch Thompson. Welcome to you.
Hey, great to see everybody.
This is great, man. You got a standing ovation from the middle table there. Is that family at all?
That's family.
That's his family.
Might be the last time they give me that.
No. You're getting a standing ovation from me also. I've said this, you're tired of hearing me say it, but it is so great to have you back at Baylor. And it's exciting to get to the start of a new season.
Yeah, we can't wait. We're so excited that it's finally here, and it's time to play somebody else.
Yeah.
And, don't let pain slow you down, and don't let the cold keep you from coming out to the ballpark. We need you out there tomorrow.
Bundle up, come out.
That's right.
Maybe sunny.
Wear a coat. Let's go.
Yeah. It's great. Well, so about 3 weeks ago you started practice. I mean, you did things through the fall. You had all the fall work, but really formal practice 3 weeks ago. What's that like when you got it's to me, it's kind of a mad rush to the start of the season. What do you try to get done in that time
Yeah,
period?
it definitely is a mad rush. I mean, our first day that we could practice was 3 weeks ago on Friday, and so, you're trying to make sure that your pitchers are ready to go with so that you can get them in an inter-squad game that day. And so we're playing a scrimmage Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and trying to get guys on a one-week basis, kind of like it works. And we were able to get in 9 scrimmages, so that's been really good. And our pitchers have all been out on the mound 3 or 4 times, and our hitters have had, a pretty good number of at-bats to get going. So, there's a reason the big leaguers take 6 weeks to 8 weeks for spring training.
Right.
But college baseball, we don't get that.
Wow. Did you feel like you got done what you needed to, or got as much done as you could in that 3 weeks?
Yeah, and we got through it pretty good. Everybody's pretty healthy, and the weather was nice for the most part. We had to fight through a few cold days, but we were blessed, and so that's really good. But you are in a rush, and you're just praying for health, and you're praying that your guys did a great job over the Christmas break and getting ready. And thankfully our guys did, so that's good.
What do you do to have pitchers ready to go your first day of practice, and then even more ready to go starting tomorrow?
Well, we had about 10 days with them here on campus beforehand, but they've got to be on about a 6-week throwing program before they get ready to get on that mound and do that, or else they're just going to get hurt. And so the entire Christmas break, they have a throwing program that they've got to take care of, but they've got to do it on their own. They're not here. They're not together with a team. So it's just so much harder. Different parts of the country. Do they have a throwing partner? Do they have somebody to get it done with? But our guys, thankfully, did a really nice job with it.
That's great. What and talk about a mad rush. I mean, when you got the job, man, you hit the ground running. You had to recruit players. You had to re-recruit the current players. Does that seem like a distant memory now, or is it just been kind of one constant?
No, it's definitely a distant memory. I mean, it's way back there, but it's been light moving really quickly. I think we talked about drinking from a fire hose early.
Yeah.
It's definitely slowed down from that. Once we got the staff hired, everything started to fall into place. Once we got the team here in the fall, it started to feel a lot more normal. So that's been good.
I love your staff. I love the way you went out and got these guys, and it says a lot about you, I think, and about Baylor that these guys want to be here and be a part of your program.
Well, I'm blown away too, because I think we hit an absolute home run. You've heard it every time I've ever talked, but we have guys who truly love Baylor, who know what Baylor's about. They have a real passion for the program. They have a passion for developing players, taking care of kids. Unbelievable people, unbelievable baseball guys, and so we hit an absolute home run with every one of them.
Yeah, some guys coming back to Baylor like Zach Dillon, like Jim Blair. That's fun.
It's been awesome. Zach Dillon, Jim Blair. This past week we had Max Muncy come into town. He spent some time with us and with our team, and Jason Jennings yesterday. And you talk about 2 of the all-time greats in Baylor history that want to come back and invest in this team, and I think it says a lot to our kids, but it means an awful lot to me to have those guys back.
Yeah. What's the message that Max left with the team? I mean, here's a guy playing at a really high level with the Dodgers.
Yeah, I think his number one message is that, hey, this place is really special to all of us. And then the second thing was have fun while you're here. Because, even when you get to the big leagues, some of these moments that you're having right now are so special. That's one of the things Jason said, I remember our locker room in our clubhouse at Baylor, and it was the tightest locker room and clubhouse I ever played with in professional baseball. And so it's just one of those things that, sometimes you don't really appreciate what you have. You don't know what you have until you don't have it anymore. Yeah. But, those guys were – Jason played 10 years in the big leagues. Max is 8 years now, a big league all-star. So, to have those kids pouring into our kids, it just means a whole lot.
That's really cool to get those guys back.
Yeah.
That's, their words carry some clout, I would think, with the current players.
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah.
I think they do that. And, it was just special for me, too, because having recruited those guys and coached them while they were here, that they all want to come back, it just means a lot.
Really cool.
Yep.
All right, let's take a break. You're tuned in to the Baylor Coaches Show. We're live at Rudy's. Coach Mitch Thompson, our guest, Baylor's first-year head baseball coach. Not his first year at Baylor. A lot of skins on the wall from his time here at Baylor previously. We'll take a break and be right back on the Baylor Coaches Show. And you're back with us on the Baylor Coaches Show live from Rudy's on the Circle in Waco. Rudy's Real Texas Barbecue. Coach Mitch Thompson, our guest, talking Baylor baseball. Speaking of guests, you have some folks that are here specifically they were here for Glenn too. Do you have any? You want to fire back at Glenn any with his comments?
No, just people think he's nice, and he's just not.
Really?
He's harsh. I mean, he's he's hard to work with.
Yeah.
He's just very harsh. So.
Well, the first pitch luncheon, I mean, he kind of fired the first shot, didn't he?
Yeah, you'd think if I knew that I was following him up again, I'd be ready. But I'm not quite as witty as he is. But I'm going to have to I'm going to start paying somebody to write some jokes for me or something.
Very nice. Max, work on that, will you? Max Calderon. You're just so nice and genteel and would not fire shots at anyone. Introduce some of your family members that are here.
What? Blown away this weekend. Amber's family over in Mississippi, my family through Amber, Amber's sister and her husband. So brother-in-law Michael and Haley Guest are here. Patton Guest, my nephew, and his girlfriend Grace came from Mississippi State.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, from Starkville all the way here.
Yeah.
And we've got 6 more folks from Mississippi. I mean, there's going to be a Mississippi flavor in the ballpark this weekend. So
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all make them feel at home.
Very
I
nice.
see we've done all right, got them brisket already, so we're in good shape.
Welcome to Waco. Well, you're going to enjoy it here. Well, glad you're here, and that leads us into our First Place Foods Ask the Coach. One of the questions is from someone at that table. Who will remain nameless, but his question is, Coach, who is your favorite nephew and who drove the furthest to come see the Coaches Show?
Yeah. I've got 2 nephews. One is the student body president at Mississippi State.
Wow.
And the other is my favorite one, Patton.
Right answer?
The future student body president
There
of
you
Mississippi
go.
State.
Nice. Very good. Patton, welcome. Glad you're here. And another question. This is from Mike. Who is this? Mike? This Mike? Okay. From Mike at the same table. Good question. You took McLennan to the College World Series in your 3rd year. Can you get the Bears to the College World Series in 3 years?
Hey, we're going to try, buddy. I mean,
I like that question.
Yeah. Actually, we went in our 2nd year at McLennan, and that was good. We almost went in the 1st, but I'm not going to say when we're going to go, but dadgum, that's sure the goal. I mean, we're not here trying to play nice. We want to try and get to Omaha and play for all the marbles.
Oh, isn't that great? How about 05? Don't you have great memories of 05?
Yeah, I have great memories, and I have great memories of all those teams. But the teams that that won, competed in super regionals and the regional tournaments, and the opportunity to get to Omaha and to do that was special with that group. And we definitely, that's the plan. The plan is to put it together and to get back. So. We're working at it as hard as we can, as fast as we can. I'll promise you that.
I love that. And as I said, going into the break, I mean, you have a previous time here, assistant coach for 18 years on the Baylor staff here, and so you know what it takes to put a team together, to get a team back to Omaha.
Well, I think so, and it takes support from your administration. It takes great fan support. We've got a great facility. We've got a great conference that we play in, and then it takes really good players, and it takes kids that are really bought in. I've been blessed with this bunch that we have this year. These guys are a bunch of really good kids that work really hard. They're nice players. They do a good job with everything that they're doing. They're getting better every day. And so, we're not waiting to try and go in year 3. We're going to try and go as fast as we can. If this group can get us there, we're going to get them there. And, but the players are the key to everything, and it's all about them, and it always will be.
Think about your time when you were here before. Is it harder to get to Omaha now? Meaning, aren't there more good teams, good programs, more money being invested into baseball?
Well, I think there's no question. You see around the country the money that's being spent on facilities, and Coastal Carolina won a national championship, and you start thinking, wow, that's a mid-major program, that was able to do it in the Sun Belt Conference. So there's really good baseball all across the country, and the parity, I think, is very good. And in baseball, it's the little circle in the middle of the field that's really the special thing. If you've got the pitching, then you've got a great opportunity to win a lot of games. And and that's always key.
All right, Mike, good question. Thank you very much. First Place Foods, ask the coach. First Place Foods, that's a darn good pickle. And speaking of McLennan, so when you were at McLennan, they were the Bosky Boys.
Yeah.
Known as the Bosky Boys. We've
Yeah.
talked about this before. But now you're at Baylor, and could this group be the Brazos Boys?
I think we are the Brazos
Is that catching
Boys.
on?
Yeah, I think it's catching on a little bit.
Like it.
And I think as we get started with the season, it'll catch on a little more.
Ooh, I like it. T-shirts,
If we start hitting a few more in the river, that'd be
In the
good
Brazos,
too. Yeah,
right.
We don't want to throw them in the river. We want to hit them in the river.
That's right. I like that, the Brazos Boys.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a different thing, and right there with the ballpark, right on the river. My goodness, how cool is that?
I think it's great. I hope that catches on. All right, let's take a break. Back with more with Coach Mitch Thompson talking Baylor baseball right after this on the Baylor Coaches Show. And back at the Baylor Coaches Show live from Rudy's this evening. Fun night. Thanks to everyone that is tuned in, watching, listening, and those of you here at Rudy's. We really appreciate you being here and being tuned in this evening. Coach, look in front of you there. That is our Old Trapper beef jerky. I did ask you ahead of time, do you like beef jerky?
I am
and
a
you
beef
said
jerky
yes.
guy, you bet.
So there's hot and spicy. There's teriyaki. What's that one? Old-fashioned is the one on top there. What's your preference of those three?
I'll probably go with the teriyaki. Yeah.
Nice. All right. You take that with you when you leave, all right?
Thank you.
And that gets us to our Old Trapper What's Your Beef segment. Kevin Gall would like for you to eat the beef jerky while you're on the air, but we'll dispense with that now.
We'll call Kevin up here. He can have some of it.
You can stand up here and eat beef jerky standing behind us if you'd like. But what's the beef? What's the beef of your schedule? You got a lot of home games to start the year.
Yeah, really excited about the way the schedule came together, and most of it was complete before I got here, and I just stayed with it. It's tough to start looking for new opponents when the whole rest of the country's already done finding their games. So we play 18 of our first 21 here. That's going to be really good for our guys. We should be able to get our feet underneath us, feel comfortable, play as well as we can. Hopefully get off to a great start in front of the fans and continue to build momentum before conference starts. So really good competitive schedule. We're going to play Central Michigan this week. We then following weekend go to Duke. And then the next 2 weeks have Youngstown State and Mercer in town before we start conference. So 18 of the first 21 here. We've got to fill up that ballpark. We need to show these guys what it's all about, and I can't wait to see everybody out there.
You were telling us earlier today, Central Michigan, the NCAA tournament team that's won 85 games the last 2 years.
Yeah, the last 2 years they've been an NCAA tournament team, won 42 and 43 games, and I mean these guys are used to winning. They're good. This team with probably 40 years of tradition of college baseball, really being a good competitive program, and so they'll be all we can handle, I'm sure.
Do you have an advantage being in Texas compared to a team coming from Michigan?
We're counting on it.
Yeah, right.
I do know this, that today when they were out there practicing today in the 48 or 50 degree
Shirts
weather,
off.
they said this isn't cold. So
right.
I don't think the cold weather tomorrow is going to have any impact on them. I hope it doesn't have any on us.
Well, maybe they're more used to cold weather, but how much have they been outside practicing?
It's tough to play with 12 inches of snow on the ground. They probably haven't been out a whole lot. The game's it's going to be an interesting thing for everybody to watch. Everybody, we're all trying to get our feet underneath this, feel our way through it, and get started. So it's going to be a fun environment this weekend.
By the way, we were at the ballpark earlier today. You did media interviews today, and, man, the grass looks absolutely gorgeous.
You know, Brown and his crew out there, they do a phenomenal job. I mean, Brown Backstrom, and they really are really good, and playing surface could not be any better.
Yeah.
So, I always tell our guys, if you can't catch a ground ball here on the grass or on the dirt, you just can't catch one, you know, and it's really true. I mean, it's a phenomenal surface, and everybody will be really pleased with how the ballpark looks.
Are you a natural grass guy or turf guy?
You know what? I'm a natural grass guy all the time if I can, but I'm one of these guys also that hates pulling the tarp. I'm really tired of it after 33 years.
I'm sure.
I'm tired of losing practice because of weather.
Yeah.
The turf offers you lots of opportunity. It quits raining, 30 minutes later you're on it. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
The wear and tear you don't have to worry about, so it saves you a lot of effort in getting things to take care of the field. There's benefits to both. Right now we got grass. We got as good a grass field as we could possibly have, and I'm thankful for it.
So you're a natural grass guy, could be talked into turf.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, we just put it in when I was leaving McLennan. We just put it in over there.
That was a nice parting gift you left
there. It was a nice parting gift. That's right. That's right.
And am I right with Central Michigan? One of your players from MCC is on there.
You know what? Marquise Jackson is a guy that played for us over at MCC. He's there at Central Michigan. The connection there at Central Michigan is one of my former college teammates. Tom Winsky is one of their assistant coaches.
Wow.
So Tom was always calling us, hey, who can we get up here and who would want to come? And Marquise, being from Chicago, wasn't afraid at all. So it was great to see him earlier today. Give him a big hug.
That's pretty cool. That is great. All right, not for you. I know you know the answer to this. For our crowd here, who knows the mascot of Central Michigan? Speak up. Yes? What? Chippewas is right. Very good. Give that man a jar of pickles. Way to go, Jared. The Central Michigan Chippewas.
Yeah.
And then you go to Duke next weekend. They played a series here last year, which was fun. Reese Davis on ESPN, his son was an outfielder for Duke.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and his is not there anymore. I mean, last year was his last year. And Duke's series here coincided with ESPN's College Game Day being in Waco.
That worked
so
out.
Reese Davis was out at the game that Friday afternoon.
Yeah, I think
Baylor and Duke.
I think we've looked at his coaching staff. We've looked at I think Duke's basketball team is playing there too. So we might go.
Oh, you looked at that, did you?
We might sneak over there and see how that works.
That'd be pretty cool. Very good. Well, we're excited about the start of the season. We're excited again about you being here, and can't wait. Are there things when you start playing games tomorrow? Are there things you'll find out about your team that you just don't know yet?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, we talked about it even today. I'm just so excited to see them compete. I'm excited to see them react when things don't go well. I'm excited to see how they handle success, how they handle failure. And, and I said either way, we've got to just keep getting better. It's one day at a time. And that's the way this works. But I'm really excited to watch them play. They've worked hard. I think they're excited to play, and I think they're going to be really excited to see all the people up there in the stands this weekend.
Yeah. Is this a fair question? Is your starting 9 set in stone or work in progress?
Yeah, definitely not a set in stone. You know, we've got several guys I think that I feel real confident are going to be in the lineup every day, but we've got a bunch of other guys that are all kind of in the mix, and you know, I'm really waiting for somebody to kind of separate themselves a little bit and to say, hey, this is my place, and start to fill in those roles. It's going to be a deal where I'm going to have to make some decisions about matchups and who do I think fits in and matches up with these other guys that we're playing. But it's nice to have some depth, and we have depth, and so I'll be anxious. But I will be anxious for guys to kind of make it a little easier filling out the lineup card every day.
How about pitching-wise? I think you announced today, maybe previously, your starting rotation for the weekend.
Yeah, we've got our rotation for the weekend set, and, you know, Blake Helton's going to go tomorrow for us. Fifth-year senior, right-hander, big, strong, physical guy. It's going to be fun to watch Blake go. He's throwing the ball really well. Cam Cayley, left-hander, will throw for us on Saturday. Mason Marriott on Sunday, and we'll see how that works. You know, I mean, these guys have all earned the right to be the opening weekend starters. But, you know, I told the team even this, you know, Jason Jennings in 1998 was in the bullpen through half the year. And then we decided, hey, we're only getting 2 innings out of him a week. We could get 7 of them, innings out of him if we threw him on the weekend. You know, throw him on the weekend. Let's start him. And it was a good decision. So, you know, things are going to kind of fit into place, and it'll start taking shape. But it's going to take a couple weeks to kind of get there, I suppose.
Good. Do you have a closer in mind? Is there a designated closer, or is that closer by committee?
You know, we've got a couple guys that are possible closer guys. You know, I think that in every really good ball club that I've ever been a part of, you know, I always say this, that he who has the bullpen wins, okay? He who has the bullpen wins. And so, you know, I think back to the great Baylor teams of old. We always had multiple guys in the bullpen, Zane Carlson or Jeff Mandel, Abe Woody, you know, Ryan LaMotta, all in the bullpen together, building on each other. We've got some guys there that I think are going to kind of fit into some of those roles and hopefully be there. Cole Stasio's been very good for us. Andrew Petrowski's a big arm. We're going to see how Grant Golem, we use him. He's kind of varying back and forth from a rotation guy, maybe a Tuesday starter in the bullpen as well. We'll just see how it all kind of fits into place. But we're learning, and we've got options, and that's a good thing.
Very cool. Well, so great to have you here tonight. Look forward to the season and many seasons to come, and good luck getting it started tomorrow.
Thanks, John. Can't wait.
All right, Coach Mitch Thompson, Baylor baseball coach. Amber and your family out there, we are glad you are with us. We're glad everyone is with us. Let's take a break. We'll come back and wrap things up right after this. Back with just enough time to wrap things up tonight on the Baylor Coaches Show. We appreciate Coach Glenn Moore, Coach Mitch Thompson being our guests here tonight. Baylor softball opening their home schedule tomorrow. Baseball opening the season tomorrow. Enjoy the games, and thanks for being with us live from Rudy's.
This has been an exclusive presentation from Learfield.